What's up, guys? Welcome back to RacingDudes.com. Welcome back to another one of our previews. Let's get rocking and rolling at Oaklawn Park. All right, we've de-thawed. The snow is gone. The melt has started down at Oaklawn, and we're going to get to run the Southwest Stakes. Now, this was originally scheduled for Saturday, January 31st. Oaklawn had to cancel all of last weekend, so we are here Friday, February 6th. Oaklawn Park will now host the Southwest Stakes. It'll be race 11 on a 12-race card there on Friday. This is a great field and a great race. I'm very much looking forward, obviously, to Oaklawn starting and starting back up, I should say, and then this field. All right, we've got a field of 14. We'll try to go through them one by one here, give you the top four at the end. What a day of racing. And I did see the extended forecast. Looks like 67 degrees for a high. What a difference a week makes. It would have been in like the teens and low 20s if they ran on Saturday of last week. And this coming week, Friday, I should say, looks immaculate. So very, very excited and very happy that we're getting a good day there at Oaklawn. And by the way, that's what it's like living in this part of the country. You just never know from week to week how it's going to look. All right, let's go through the field. Number one, Reclamation will get us going here at Oaklawn Park. And a horse that ran 6 furlongs last time out right here at Oaklawn and won by 4 lengths. Now, that was his second race. Was not good on debut, beaten 13 lengths by Decode, who we'll talk about here in a second. So pretty good to see Decode beat the Reclamation that bad and then Reclamation come back to win. I don't like Recollection here. This is sprint on sprint for me. Caracara out of a Discreet Cat mare. It looks like a total sprinter to me. Could play a big part in the pace, though. That's the one thing you kind of got to look at with Reclamation. So don't like him here, but when they kind of cut him back, look out. He kind of has 2 pretty decent races on his form. All right, let's talk about it. The number 2 Decode is next, and I think you just got to make a decision. Is he a sprinter or can he route? And that's the question number 1. And if the answer is he can route, he looks pretty good in here. There is a lot of speed sign on. That's a little bit of a problem. A big field and a lot of speed. Oh boy, you get a little bit worried, especially if you think the horse might be a little bit sprintish. But go back and watch the replay. One race, it came back here on December 14th at Oaklawn, won by 8 1/4. We already talked about how Reclamation is in this race after coming back to win. And I mean, Decode was just flawless in this race. He just absolutely dominated. He looks like a serious sprinter to me. I am very, very concerned about the stretch out in this kind of setup. I do like that he gets the inside. I think he's just going to go get the rail. How fast is he going to have to go to get it? That's the big question mark. There's a lot of speed signed on. I talked about the number 1 Reclamation. I think he'll go. Soldier and Diplomat will be up there. And one of those Bafferts are going to be up there as well. So a little bit worried about how fast they're going to go early in this race. You got Decode and Reclamation coming out of sprints. A Soldier and Diplomat has been, near the front as well. So I just kind of feel like those 3 are going to kind of burn it up early. But a lot of talent. I think at first glance, I was very tempted to say, let's just give Decode a shot here. And as far as like pick 4s and pick 5s, I think it might just be one you include if you look up and you think, man, what if this horse gets loose and say the 1 doesn't break well, the 13 doesn't go to the front, all of a sudden he might be out there. So I think Decode's dangerous in this spot, and he's shown a lot of talent. If he doesn't win here, you can always cut him back and run him in some of the sprint races. Number 3 is Butane. This is one of 2 Bob Baffert runners entered into the race. Nice debut winner back in August at Del Mar. Went to the hopeful next where he got beat by 8.5 lengths by Ted Nafi. So no disgrace there. Came back last time out running in the 7 furlong. San Vicente was second, beaten 2 lengths to So Happy. So, look, I kind of think this is a horse that wants to go long. He's by Tiz the Long out of a forestry mare. I don't think it's like a lock that he's going to be great going long, but I do think he probably could. A mile 16th is going to benefit him in this spot. The more I looked at it, I'm a little skeptical of him, to be quite honest. I think he's here with a shot. I kind of like his stablemate a little bit better. Wouldn't be surprised if Butane won the race, but like I said, I kind of lean more the stablemate we're going to talk about here in a minute. So, I'm kind of I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence with Butane at this spot or at this moment. Number 4 is Rancho Santa Fe. I think he's very interesting. Last time out, he was 5-2 in the Smarty Jones. He did no running for whatever reason. He was like 8th, and he didn't make up any ground, and he went backwards. Now it's weird because he was in a pretty good spot in his first 2 races. When he broke the maiden at Ellis Park, he was sitting right on the pace, and when he won an allowance at Keeneland, he was sitting right on the pace. This race, he just was flat for whatever reason. Flavian Pratt's going to come in and ride today for this one, so that'll be very interesting to see how that works out. New jockey, we'll see what happens there, changing from Giroux to Pratt. 15-1 probably deserves to be after that last race. You're just going to have to see him get a lot better in this one, and he just never looked comfortable, never looked like he really wanted to be there last time out. So maybe draw a line through it. Maybe he goes back to some of his previous runnings, and he's kind of there with a shot, but it's kind of a wait and see for me in this one. All right, I talked about the other Baffert. Let's talk about him now. Number 5, Litmus Test. This horse going to be ridden by Hernandez. He's going to come in to ride here in this spot. Look, I think it's okay to be skeptical of what you saw last time out in the Los Alamitos Futurity. He didn't beat a whole lot in that race, as we know, but the number came back pretty strong. You know, he's a length and a quarter victory there. I just kind of look at some of his other races, 4th in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile behind, 3 pretty good horses, 3rd in the Breeders' Futurity behind 2 pretty good horses. He lost the Del Mar Futurity, but pretty good horses beat him in there in that one as well. I kind of think this is one that's going to get better as we go along here. This one kind of reminds me of the Baffert that is a little bit under the radar, but just seems like one that it has a right to get better as we keep going. The horse is by Nyquist out of a Malibu Moon mare. I think stretching out is to even further than what we're going will ultimately help. I kind of like his running style, especially in a race like this where he doesn't have to have the lead. He can kind of sit out 2nd, 3rd, 4th and pounce on him. I think that'll help him. If you go back and watch a Breeders' Cup Juvenile, I thought he made a massive move on the turn, and he flattened out a little bit. But I thought he showed some talent in that race. And the more I watch his replays, I'm just like, you know what? I didn't love the Breeders' Futurity, but the Breeders' Cup Juvenile and the Los Alamitos Futurity, I thought this horse ran well. So I think he's in here with a big shot. I actually, Baffert, sometimes you want him on the lead, but I kind of like his running style for this spot and this setup. Seems like there's a lot of pace, and he can just kind of stalk him. And then, hopefully, at least for those that are going to back him, go get him. All right, the number 6 is Circle Tap. This horse by a twirling Candy out of the Tappet mare, so pretty well bred here. Took a while, took 5 starts, but got the maiden broke last time out, going 1.16 this distance right here at Oaklawn Park. Numbers are a little bit weak. He has been beaten by some pretty decent horses in the past when he was losing those maiden races. I like the improvement in the stretch out. I just think it's a little too deep for him here. I think he's got a tough assignment in this spot today. Let's keep going to the number 7, Liberty National. Interesting horse here if the pace falls apart. Went 7 furlongs on debut, did not run well at all. Stretched out to 1.16 and was solid, winning by 4.5 or 4.25 there at Churchill Downs. And then last time out, ran in the gun runner and was 2nd, beaten 3/4 of a length behind Chip Honcho. Now the good news is he made a nice closing kick, and I thought was good enough. I think if he was real good, he would have won the race, to be quite honest with you, but he ran okay. Chip Honcho didn't come back to run horrible last time out in the LeCompte, but he didn't run very well. He got 4th, and it was kind of, you know what I mean? The whole race, it just kind of felt like he's not going to win. I think if the pace sets up, it's really going to help him. I think this is a really good field for him. I'm not high on him, but I do think pace dependent. Maybe at 10-1, he's going to get a piece of it here. Wouldn't be shocked if it totally falls apart that he's running there at the end, but I think he's more of an on the board type for me. The number 8 is Spirit of Royal. Took a while for this one to break the maiden as well. 6 starts, got it done last time out at Oaklawn Park, going a mile. Won it 4-1 and won it by a length and a half. It's not for me. The speed figures look pretty darn low. I think there's just way too much improvement. Another one could maybe benefit from the pace falling apart, but it's not for me in this spot. It's not one I'm interested in. The number 9 is Strategic Risk, the winner last time out, and a runaway winner at that 4.5 length victory of the Smarty Jones last time out. 2 races back as well, winning a mile and 16th race there at Gulfstream Park. So 2 straight wins since stretching out. The distance is definitely the key. The 4 races before they stretch out to a mile and 16th on the dirt, not that great. They tried the turf once, that didn't work out. The 2, though, since stretching out on the dirt to a mile 16th, very good races for sure. I wasn't a huge fan of the Smarty Jones in general. It was a paceless race. There's no question about it. And strategic risks kind of just benefited from it and was able to get the job done. He did win by 4.5, though. So that is something you got to look at. I'm just not 100% sold on this horse in the spot today. I just kind of think there's better horses. I think the pace is going to be very different. I'm leaning against the number 9 strategic risk in this spot. I'll kind of let him beat me in this spot today. All right, the number 10 is Bricklin. This is another horse. Last time out at Oaklawn Park, gets the job done going 1 mile, but with a 3 1/4 length victory. Kind of woke up. Kind of ran 3 races where you go, not very good. Did break the maiden by a nose at Horseshoe Indianapolis 3 races back. Ran in the street since it did nothing, and boy, that race has not come back to be very good. It's a pass for me. I did like the last race. I don't think he's going to get that trip again. A lot of pace this time out. Bricklin is a pass for me in this spot. The number 11 is Silent Tactic. Ran second last time out, beaten 4.5 in the Smarty Jones. But I thought it was a deceptively good race. There was no pace. He was kind of the only one that really made up a lot of ground in the stretch. And yeah, he was never beating the winner. There's no question about that. I mean, strategic risk was well clear. I think Silent Tactics has a shot to hit the board again at a big price. The setup should be a little bit better for this horse. He was pretty good in 2 races on the synthetic there at Woodbine. It was a decent debut on the dirt. I don't love him, but I think underneath of the price, he does make a little bit of sense. So the number 12 Baytown Dreamer is next. I promise we're about through all these. Number 12 Baytown Dreamer, last time out in the Smarty Jones was 3rd, beaten 5 1/4 at 84-1. I don't like him today. I think this is a pretty tough post position. I don't think he'll run back to those odds. I didn't like him last time, to be fair, and he got 3rd. So I'm out on Baytown Dreamer in this spot today. Interesting horse here. The 13 Soldier and Diplomat is next. 2 races back, 1 an allowance going 1 mile by 9 lengths there at Churchill Downs. 3 races back, 4th in the Hopeful, beaten 12.5. Kentucky Jockey Club last time out. He turned for home. He got the lead, and he just got a little tired. Got 3rd, beaten 2 1/4, and I think that's him in a nutshell. This horse is by Army Mule out of a Violence mare. It just kind of feels like a mile probably is where this horse is going to love it. I don't think he wants to go this far. You just kind of look at that and go, now from this post, I just don't think he can hold on. So I'm not a fan of Soldier and Diplomat in this spot today. And then finally, another horse from the Smarty Jones, number 14, Sleeping on Freedom. This horse was 4th, beaten 9 1/4 last time out. I think it's a better setup today. I think it's a horrible post position. I can't do it with this one. I got to pass. The number 14, Sleeping on Freedom. Take a breath. That's the field of 14 here. Similar to what I did last time, or a couple weeks ago, I should say, in the Lecomte. I threw up the gun runner horses and just kind of played kind of the new shooters. And I'm going to do a similar thing here. Just not a big fan of the Smarty Jones. So I'm going to throw those horses out. I'm going to go with the number 5 Litmus Test on top. So number 5 Litmus Test will be my pick to win the race. It gets a little weird after that. I'm going to take a shot with number 7 Liberty National in second. I'm going to go number 5 Litmus Test on top. Number 7 Liberty National second. I think number 2 Decode holds on. So I'm going to put number 2 Decode in third, and then the number 3 Butane in fourth. So I'm going to go 5, 7, 2, 3. 5, 7, 2, 3. All right, guys, that'll do it for this preview of the Southwest Stakes. Hit that like button if you like the video. Hit subscribe if you really like it. Want to get alerted anytime we do videos like this. And most importantly, good luck if you're betting Oaklawn Park on Friday.